Graffiti, is it a form of art, destruction, possession, gang relation, relief, or a statement?
Okay.
It's art.
And vandalism.
Art. Art.
So tell us, as an artist, how do you feel about graffiti?
As an artist, I quite like graffiti as long as it's done well and it's artistic rather than just some men shaking a light. I mean, most of graffiti, like proper stuff, is all like just as good as something you get in a canvas in an art store.
What about its effect on the environment? Do you think it negatively affects the
If it's good
environment?
graffiti, I don't think it. If it's good graffiti, it's almost like a walking gallery, like outside, an art gallery.
Negative effects of graffiti. Poses a risk to health, safety, and welfare of the community. Fosters a sense of disrespect for private property that may result in increased crime, community degradation, and urban blight. Creates a nuisance that can adversely affect property values, business opportunities, and the enjoyment of community life.
Defacing property is a physical sign that there's a breakdown in society. It can signify a downward spiral. What was once a prestigious neighborhood can be covered in vandalism and graffiti.
Most spray paints contain volatile organic compounds, which enter the atmosphere via the fumes from these paints. Even though the spray paint might have been done 10 or 20 years ago, we still feel the effects on the environment, even though we may not even notice.
CFCs. What are they, you ask? Chlorofluorocarbons, otherwise known as what's in your spray paint can, or at least up until the 1970s. In the 1970s, government in North America put a restriction on products containing CFCs. However, products like spray paint still contain hydrocarbons and compressed gases, which are notorious for contributing to global warming. That means anytime you press your spray paint button, you are adding to your carbon footprint. Spray paint also emits VOCs, which contribute to pollution at ozone ground levels, a key contributor to smog-induced asthma.
Graffiti's negative externalities affect businesses, communities, homeowners, and schools.
Graffiti on commercial or industrial property is one thing, but think about its effect on a living organism. Not only does it portray a loss of aesthetic value, but also a lack of appreciation towards nature itself. Whether it be tagging by painting or by carving, one tries to take possession over something that they don't own in any way, shape, or form, the environment.
Many private property owners take this graffiti problem into their own hands by using either detergent and water or methanol and water to remove graffiti from their properties. This is bad because methanol is made from fossil fuels, which obviously is bad for the environment in many different ways, from going and creating the greenhouse gases that deplete our ozone every day. Runoff from graffiti allows hazardous toxins to get into our sewage system, which eventually lands here in our lakes and streams, and especially Lake Ontario. This was once a beautiful river or stream that allowed plenty of wildlife such as the geese and the swans to live here happily. Now it's just getting to be all gross.
How do you feel about graffiti in Toronto?
I love it.
You love it?
More than like it, I love it.
Yeah, what about it do you love about it?
I like everything. It's artistic and the regular bricks aren't.
Do you feel like it affects the environment?
Yeah, I think it's a positive thing for the environment.
Positive?
Affecting people or the environment itself?
Affecting people, their environment, not the actual environment. The actual environment's not so good with it, I guess, because of all the fumes from the paint.
Graffiti is the most common type of property vandalism. Each year, graffiti removal eats up a huge chunk of municipal budgets. It costs the government hundreds of thousands of dollars annually to remove.
The best way to prevent graffiti is to never let it happen. This is accomplished at the design stage by using textured surfaces or limiting the surface area that graffiti artists can work on.
If you can't do that, be proactive. Report graffiti in your neighborhood.
Call it what you wanna call it, art or crime. Whatever you call it, graffiti ain't fine. Cultural, hazardous, anthropogenic. Nature is vulnerable to human interaction. A form of explanation is still contamination. Have some appreciation for the next generation.